Russia's summer offensive was meant to be the turning point, the campaign that would change the tide of war in Moscow's favor. But instead, it has collapsed under its own weight, exposing flaws in strategy, execution, and morale. What was promised as a show of strength has turned into a costly failure, leaving Russian forces overstretched and Ukrainian defenses more resilient than ever. Hello everyone, welcome back to the World Conflict Monitor channel. Please subscribe to my channel for more detailed breakdowns of global conflicts. In simple terms, here is the summary of the story. Russia launched its long-anticipated summer offensive with the aim of breaking through Ukrainian lines, seizing territory, and projecting dominance. However, after months of heavy fighting, poor logistics, and staggering losses, the offensive has crumbled. Ukraine's use of drones, precision strikes, and resilient defenses have not only stalled the advance but pushed Russian troops into a position of weakness. What was meant to be a show of power has instead revealed Russia's vulnerabilities on the world stage. From the outside, the exterior of this offensive was meant to look unstoppable. Russia amassed large numbers of tanks, armored vehicles, artillery systems, and manpower along multiple fronts. Propaganda presented this buildup as a massive storm ready to sweep across Ukrainian territory. The Kremlin promised quick gains, territorial expansion, and the capture of strategic cities. International audiences were led to believe that Ukraine would not withstand this pressure, and that Western support would falter in the face of Russian momentum. The visual spectacle of armored columns and missile strikes was intended to intimidate and project confidence. Yet behind this exterior, the reality was far more fragile. The interior of this offensive, the true engine driving it, turned out to be weak. Logistics lines were stretched, supplies failed to reach frontline units in time, and coordination between air and ground forces was poor. Shortages of ammunition plagued units across the front, while communication breakdowns left soldiers operating blindly. Many of the conscripted troops had little training, low morale, and almost no faith in their commanders. Unlike the polished image of a well-oiled war machine, the interior of the offensive revealed cracks at every level. Corruption, outdated equipment, and poor planning further hollowed out Russia's fighting capacity, showing that the core of this campaign was never strong enough to sustain long-term operations. In terms of performance, the summer offensive was an outright disappointment. Despite heavy bombardments and repeated assaults, Russian forces made minimal territorial gains and often lost more ground than they gained. Precision strikes from Ukrainian artillery, Western-supplied missile systems, and swarms of drones tore apart advancing columns. Russian tanks were destroyed at an alarming rate, and infantry assaults were repelled with devastating losses. Even in areas where Russia managed to inch forward, the gains were temporary and came at immense human and material cost. The performance of the offensive exposed Russia's inability to adapt to modern warfare, where technology, agility, and intelligence matter far more than sheer numbers. When it comes to safety features, or in this context, the protective measures of the offensive, Russia had very little to show. Defensive countermeasures against drones and precision strikes were inadequate. Soldiers often lacked proper body armor, vehicles moved without sufficient electronic warfare cover, and air defenses were overwhelmed. Instead of protecting their forces, Russian commanders frequently threw them into meat grinder assaults, prioritizing momentum over lives. Safety was sacrificed for propaganda victories, but even those symbolic wins rarely materialized. The lack of protection not only led to staggering losses but also demoralized troops who felt abandoned and expendable. Looking at the unique selling points, Russia tried to market its offensive as a demonstration of superiority. It showcased hypersonic missiles, advanced fighter jets, and massive artillery barrages. It claimed that overwhelming numbers and firepower would ensure victory. Yet none of these features provided a decisive edge. The hypersonic missiles did little to change the battlefield reality. Air superiority never materialized. Even artillery, once seen as Russia's trump card, was matched and countered by Ukrainian precision systems and innovative tactics. Instead of unique selling points, the offensive turned into a catalog of weaknesses, poor planning, rigid strategies, and over-reliance on outdated Soviet-era doctrine. The price of this failure has been immense. In manpower, Russia lost tens of thousands of soldiers, many of them young conscripts. Entire armored brigades were decimated, artillery stockpiles depleted, and logistics chains broken. Economically, the cost of replacing lost equipment, maintaining stretched supply lines, and sustaining the war effort has drained Russia's budget. Politically, the Kremlin has paid a price as well, with growing dissent at home and dwindling international allies. The summer offensive was supposed to strengthen Russia's negotiating position, but instead, it weakened it. The world now sees Moscow not as an unstoppable giant but as a power struggling to keep up with modern warfare. In conclusion, Russia's summer offensive was not just a failed operation, it was a complete and utter failure that will be remembered as a turning point in the conflict. What began with promises of victory ended with humiliation, heavy losses, and shattered illusions. Ukraine emerged stronger, more innovative, and more determined, while Russia exposed the deep flaws within its military machine. The lesson from this collapse is clear: brute force without strategy, innovation, and resilience cannot achieve victory. For Moscow, the summer offensive has become a symbol of weakness rather than strength, a costly gamble that crumbled before the eyes of the world.